Hello YouTube, this is D.B.T Show, episode 173, part 2. Today I'm reviewing Spyro 2, A Gateway to Glimmer. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, go back and watch it. I talked about story, graphics, controls, music, gameplay, and some of the good stuff about this game. Now let's pick up that off. I just finished off talking about bosses. I also showed off a little bit of a boss fight, to show you what they're like. Now I would like to talk about the pause menu. The pause menu is very useful. It helps to keep the game in perspective and keep you on track of what you need to do next. First things first, the guidebook. The guidebook is very important. It tells you which levels you've completed and how much of them you've done. As you can see, I've already completed Summer Forest 100% in every level. If you click on the level and you want to check on it, you can check how many gems you got in the level. You can also check which orbs you've got, and each orb has a name, and this name is kind of a clue to help you know what you did for that orb, so you can always find the next one. Some of the orbs are really difficult to get, so if you're a completionist and you like to collect everything in these sort of games, kind of like me, but I don't bother with the achievements, this game can be really challenging and sometimes really frustrating. Also in the guidebook, after you've beaten the third world and Ripto, you will be able to look at the achievements. Personally, I'm not bothered about achievements at all, as far as the Spyro game is concerned. The only time I ever collect achievements is when I'm playing my PS3 and I have a spare hour or so to go collect some trophies. In Spyro 2 and 3, you don't really get anything for the achievements. All you get is a bunch of artwork. I found a video on YouTube and I decided that for now it's not worth doing. Some of the achievements can be a bit cryptic, but I'm pretty sure there's a guide on Game FAQs which tells you where all the achievements are and how to get them. Also in the pause menu you can save your game anytime you want. You can also look at your options. There's a map in the game, so you find your way around levels. There's also two types of cameras. There's a passive camera, which moves really slowly, so you can sort of take your time. There's also an active camera, which moves faster. I tend to switch between the two, depending on which level I'm in, and depending on which depending on what I need at the time. That's it for the pause menu. Another thing I really like about this game were the power-ups. Throughout the game there are several different power-ups. You've got the Super Flight power, which lets you fly for a limited amount of time. You've got the Super Flame power, lets you shoot fireballs. If you hold down triangle, you can shoot the fireballs in any direction, and it's really helpful. You got the Supercharger that lets you take down big doors and bigger enemies. And I know my favourite power-ups is the invincibility. It doesn't last very long, and you only get it in a few levels. It's kind of a annoying power-up because it doesn't last too long. I've only ever seen it in like 1 or 2 levels. My favourite power-up of all has got to be the combination power-up you get towards the end of the game, which combines Super Flame and Super Flight. And you get to do this challenge where you're taking down these cows in spaceships. Yeah, this game has sort of like a crazy sense of humour, and they have animals driving spaceships and evil space cows and stuff like that. Which is one of the reasons why this game is so much fun, because it has such a diverse humour. Personally, I would not say the game's for kids. It's all ages can enjoy this game. If you like 3D platformers, and if you like games like Mario 64, you can probably definitely enjoy this game. Another thing I liked about this game was the new moves. They definitely added some new abilities to Spyro's arsenal, and in Spyro 3, all the moves from Spyro 2 came back. You could still head smash, you could still climb up walls, you could still swim through water, you could still break a big boulder with your head smash. In a lot of 2D platformers and 3D platformers, you tend to lose all your abilities at the beginning of the game, and you have to find them all again, kind of like in Metroid. But Spyro doesn't do that sort of thing. I really like that because I like having abilities from previous games, so I can easily adjust to the controls. So I really liked all the new abilities that Spyro had. They were all really helpful when it came to finding stuff. I mean, one of the most annoying things about the first Spyro game was if you touched water, it was either you would lose some of your health or you would die instantly. And when they put swimming into the game, I was so glad because it was such a cheap way to die if you fell into the water. And that's basically all the good stuff I have to say about the game, YouTube. Now let's go to my complaints. Okay, now my complaints about Spyro 2, A Gateway to Glimmer. It's very difficult for me to complain about a game that I like so much. I've beaten this game twice, and it's definitely my second favourite in the Spyro trilogy for the PlayStation. I have one major complaint, and this complaint is common with all 3D platformers, so I'm not just picking on the Spyro series here. The complaint I have is that the camera at times in this game can be a bit dodgy. I remember one time I picked up an orb, I rotated, and the camera rotated, so I was looking inside of a wall, and it took me a while to get the camera back into its original position so I could see where I needed to go next. So at times the camera can be a bit dodgy and a little bit difficult to control, and sometimes this can be a little bit frustrating. But other than that, Spyro 2 is definitely a really good 3D platformer. If you like 3D platforming games, if you like collecting stuff, you will love this game. It's pretty easy to find these days, it's pretty cheap, and it's definitely a great game to add to your collection. I give this game a well-deserved 4 out of 5. In my next review, YouTube, we shall be starting our engines and getting into our pod races as I review one of my all-time favourite N64 games, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. But I haven't got time for that today, YouTube, so until then, bye!